First, when we buy a house, at the point when individuals begin searching for another home, they ordinarily incorporate things, for example, present-day kitchens, ensuite washrooms and wide windows that offer an incredible view on their list of things to get. Some desire for glad, enduring recollections with their family and friends, to guarantee another house is shielded from dull powers that undermine the joy of the family inside its dividers. A few people paint their patio roofs haint blue. It is accepted that this specific shade of blue repulses evil and limits the undead from entering a home, since it confounds them into imagining that the roof is a waterway. A few mortgage holders decide to likewise paint their screens and window outlines in this shade for extra protection. This strange notion was extremely regular in the American South, where the term "haint blue" got mainstream in the 19th century as a depiction of Caribbean blue. Haint really implies frequent, which was the Southern expression for phantom. Driving is frequently exceptionally unremarkable, and experienced drivers concur that it turns out to be such a programmed action that a fraction of the time they don't have a clue how they got to their goals. Driving accompanies a ton of hazard in any case, and as the colloquialism goes, you don't just drive for yourself, you additionally drive for other people. Also, the perils of rockfalls, carjacking, falling passages, unforeseen hindrances and more. For these reasons, a few drivers have taken to playing out certain security ceremonies previously, in keeping in mind that heading to keep misfortune under control. These incorporate holding your breath while passing a burial ground or passing through a passage, as it will guarantee the dead stay undisturbed and that your desires will work out, respectively. It will likewise look good for you to never purchase another vehicle on Friday the 13th or drive on a street with the number 13 in it, as this can just send fiasco your way. Third, a few people can't simply plunk down and have a dinner. There are numerous activities and consider before any food can be expended, all for the sake of warding off wickedness. For example, on the off chance that they are having some tea before supper, they never add milk to it, the sugar, as this would mean being single forever. In the event that they're to a greater extent an espresso individual and detect a few air pockets in their cup, they may scoop them up with a teaspoon and eat them, since they trust it will make them become wealthy. Should you get yourself the host of a feast, particularly supper, guarantee that you don't situate 13 individuals at your supper table, as one unfortunate visitor will bite the dust inside a year. Additionally, don't let anybody sing during supper, since they will wind up with an insane life partner. Fourth, demise is an inescapable piece of life, and by expansion burial services. Consistently everywhere throughout the world, a huge number of individuals prepare up in themselves to go to a burial service, regardless of whether that of a friend or family member or an acquaintance. A memorial service occasion can draw in a large group of odd notions, with certain individuals setting coins on the eyes of the paged and covering them confronting east. At the point when a body is expelled from a home, many accept and demand that it ought to be moved with the feet leaving the structure first. On the off chance that a cadaver leaves heedlessly, it may very well think back to the living and allure them to join the excursion to the afterlife. Those who are eccentric additionally ensure that they pick an alternate course from the graveyard when getting back, so apparitions can't tail them. Fifth, in the event that you get up extremely at an early stage, a cool, dull winter's morning, you will be excused for putting on your socks back to front. Evidently socks that are back to front bring good karma, so it might end up being the best thing you did that day anyway. But in the event that you happen to dress on a cool, dull winter's morning for your own wedding, guarantee that you add a couple of rings to your wedding dress to avert the evil spirits that might be concealing inconspicuous in obscurity corners of your room. Furthermore, include an extravagant belt for insurance against sorcery. People who feel especially fortunate on some random day frequently wear garments with polka dots or convey spotted adornments with them, particularly when they intend to put down wagers at a nearby gambling club or play the lottery. The round specks are said to take after lucrative and abrupt appearance in one's life. Sixth, it is normal for hopeful moms to go to any length to guarantee their unborn infant is solid and secured. This incorporates eating well nourishments, making standard regular checkups, taking enhancements thus on. Some go considerably further and wear keys around their neck when a full moon sparkles splendidly from above. It is accepted that the keys avoid the moon's beams from a pregnant lady's tummy and shields it from eating the child's lip, which would prompt a parted palate. Some moms-to-be who plan infant showers with their loved ones demand having them in either the 7th or 9th month of their pregnancy, as the numbers 7 and 9 are considered to bring good karma. There are additionally pregnant ladies who will not have their hairstyle while expecting, as they trust it would prompt an issue with their child's eyes. Seventh, despite the fact that heading out to distant extraordinary areas is hazardous right now, the individuals who love the open street or plane excursions are at the edge of their seats, hanging tight for the coronavirus pandemic to die down so they may once more investigate unfamiliar nations around the globe, depending on the goal. There are a few rules to follow on the off chance that you need to have a misfortune-free outing. For example, when you have shown up in Russia and are hanging tight at the air terminal for a companion or relative to come and get you, sitting on your baggage will bring you good karma. A few people who leave their convenience in Bulgaria after a vacation attempt to guarantee that their host doesn't begin clearing the spot directly after they leave, as their very breath may be cleared from their body. Those who travel to China on their own will need to keep undesirable spirits under control in a stay with 2 beds. They can put their own things, for example, bags, on the extra bed to show to inconspicuous visitors that the bed involved. They should likewise pat the pads a few times to motion toward the undead that the bed isn't accessible. Eighth, there are handfuls, if not hundreds, of odd notions encompassing occasions, for example, Christmas and New Year's Day, of course. Halloween has its very own rundown to guarantee individuals avoid the grip of detestable creatures during the spookiest occasion of all. On the off chance that you end up in Wales on the 31st of October. Make certain to maintain a strategic distance from all junction and stiles, as a phantom will be hanging tight there for you. The nation, likewise, has a long-standing convention whereby every individual from a family would toss a white stone into a blaze. Each stone would be stamped. At the point where they searched for the stones the following day and one was missing, it implied that specific relative would pass on inside the year. Along these lines, don't go tossing stones in the event that you need to live. If you are in urgent need of some good karma, light an orange flame at 12 p.m. on Halloween and permit it to consume until the sun rises. Additionally, while you are watching out for the light, as you should, and you happen to hear strides behind you, don't pivot. Demise himself may be remaining behind you, investigating your shoulder. Ninth, in the event that you need to abstain from having bad dreams and misfortune as a rule when you hit the sack, never turn your sleeping pad on a Sunday and mastermind your cushions to confront north. In any case, on the other hand, different notions state that your cushions ought to never confront north. You can likewise embrace the act of feng shui and place your bed as distant from the entryway as could be expected under the circumstances, and never legitimately before it. Don't permit your feline into your room except if you need to be reviled for a considerable length of time, and unquestionably don't balance a work of art of the Titanic or anybody other picture that delineates an awful occasion in your room, as this could prompt trouble in your household. Also, never leave your cap on your bed, as it will draw in long stretches of misfortune that not so much as a dreamcatcher will have the option to frighten off. 10th. A wedding is a cheerful event. Given that you have tried not to drop your lady of the hour or lucky man's ring during the function, obviously, as this would mean your accomplice will kick the bucket soon. Never plan a May wedding, as this would lead you to wed in May, mourn the day. You may even now, nonetheless, convey the lady of the hour over the edge of your new home, as this would keep insidious spirits from hooking on to her. Once the coronavirus is away for acceptable, you may need your wedding visitors to spit on you and your accomplice, as this is viewed as a gift. What's more, if this truly doesn't seem like your thing, you could cover a jug of bourbon topsy-turvy at the wedding scene a month prior to the service to guarantee good karma and great climate on the day. Thereafter, you can likewise appreciate a merited beverage and murmur a moan of alleviation that everything went down as indicated by plan.